What's going on, y'all? KM Best here. As everyone knows, the release of Valentina has raised Loki back into the metagame, and the increase in Loki has put Hela back into the metagame. I set out to counter both of them, but I actually made a deck that just kind of felt good into everything. This is the list, and the basic thought process here was, what is the easiest deck I can play with Mobius and Professor X? Now, we have Mobius in here because we want to be able to generally be aggressive into Loki. With Mobius in hand, you can snap into Loki, and that is a really good place to be. We have Professor X in here because I don't want to start losing to combo decks. My worry about a resurgence in Loki is we're going to run into situations where people start playing Hela, people start playing Phoenix Force, and therefore you need Professor X in here. In addition, Cannonball plus Professor X is a time-honored way of winning a bunch of games, and it's very hard for me to turn that down in a deck as sort of mid-rangey, Annihilus-oriented as this, because it covers my bases against Hela, it covers my bases against Phoenix Force. I will say, though, I basically didn't even run into those. Like, I was only playing the decks this deck was built not to beat, and it was still winning a lot of games. So the baseline thing here is this is a shell that is successful and good, and you can take it and you can use it as needed. Not all of the cards are necessary. Feel free to swap in and out for cards you don't have. For individual card replacements, we will cover all of those in the card-by-card breakdown. The Hood is a fairly key card here, and one thing you will notice when playing this deck is that you do not have other ways of getting rid of the Hood, which means in games when you do not have a Nihilus and you do have a Sentry, I am very often tempted to, unfortunately, as it is, double up and put the Hood in the lane where the Void will end up going, because if I don't have a Nihilus, I don't want to put myself in a situation where I have multiple things that could lose me the lane. This is not a hard and fast rule, just something you have to think about because we only have a Nihilus as a way of getting rid of this card, and because Sentry is a genuinely large dude, and we are often interested in playing, say, Sentry into Prof X, and then cannonballing a different lane, and sometimes that does involve not playing a Nihilus as well. So that kind of thought process, thinking out how you want your game to actually go, picking and choosing which of the 5 drops is your important one in this matchup, in this game, in this situation, you gotta do it. Nico Minoru is here because I want as many 1-drops as I can possibly get in the deck because I am playing Pixie, and I think she's likely to be the most useful, just utility 1-drop. She wasn't, like, overwhelmingly amazing. It is totally fine for this to be something like, you know, Iceman or Spider-Ham or whatever, but I think she's probably the best of them because she lets you adapt to situations, because she draws 2 cards. I think, given the choice between her and any other utility 1-drop, I do choose her. So, Pixie, I think you might look at this and say, oh, Pixie's required, KM, what are you talking about? It's not. You can play like Daredevil or something. The Pixie is here mostly as like, I'm stealing some cubes. This is a good thing for me. I am justifying the Mobius I'm already playing. But like, you could just play Daredevil and then you'd have better Professor X's and you'd also have like the Mobius just in there as tech. It's not my favorite thing to do, but you could totally do it. Like, I don't want people to look at this and be like, I don't have Pixie, I can't play this. I kind of think you don't need her. I can't honestly look you in the face and be like, yeah, Pixie, she was awesome, she won me so many games. She was pretty good, like, it's not bad to cheat energy, don't get me wrong. But, like, this deck can very easily win without her. This is another card you kind of don't need to have in this deck. You can kind of just play a good 2, another 1. You can do a lot of stuff here, right? Like, if you don't have White Widow, but you have everything else, you can play another Iceman. You could play... pick any good 2-drop that you're kind of interested in playing that has decent stats. You could play that card, too. You could play whatever really comes to mind here. I'm playing her because she's a generically good card, but that's not something that should prevent you. The lack of owning her should not prevent you from playing this deck. I do think she's great, right? Like, obviously, she's really cool with Prof X. Like, that's a good thing to have. But there are other cards that are really cool with Prof X if you want to try other stuff. Jeff is Jeff, and I honestly, at this point, am trying to come up with anything to say about why you run this card. You are a Professor X deck. He is one of the best 2-drops in the game, if not the best in a vacuum. You are something that synergizes with him. You like filling up the right lane so you can avoid getting the Sentry if you need that to not happen if you don't have the Annihilus. There's just a million reasons to run this card, and basically none not to. Mysterio here is good. One of the changes I made, I took this deck, it started with Red Hulk and Iceman in for Mysterio and Mockingbird, and I was like, you know, it's fine, I'm not hating it, it's like an okay thing to be doing, but I realized that Red Hulk was just never the card I was actually playing on the final turn of the game. I was very often just like, oh, I'd rather play Cannonball in a 1-drop, and so if I'm able to get my Mockingbird to 1, that can be the 1-drop. Even if I'm not able to get my Mockingbird to 1, this card goes really well with Cannonball because it allows you to throw priority while still having stats on the board, which is a very important thing to do. You can put the Mysterio clones into locations that take power away and then send them over with Annihilus. They all discount Mockingbird, which is phenomenal. Do not be afraid to play a Mockingbird just like, oh, Mysterio, Mockingbird on 3. That's really good. That's a 3/9. That's a really good thing to be doing. And that all of that adds up such that I enjoyed the Mysterio Mockingbird package a little bit more. Mobius M. Mobius is, in theory, here for Pixie, right? Like, that's why he's here. But what's really happening here is I wanted to find a deck that was incidentally already playing Mobius and Prof X, and I wanted to play that into the metagame, right? I was making a metagame call here. I was like, you know what cards I really want to be playing right now? Mobius and Prof X. What is the best way for me to get as much value as I can out of Mobius and Prof X? Yeah, this is a pretty good way to do it. And I think that generally speaking, not, 100%, but just generally speaking, Mobius is one of the best cards in the game right now because of the preponderance of Loki, but at the same time, if that ever seriously changes, replacements can include Red Guardian, replacements can include pretty much whatever you want as a tech card here. I'm playing this deck, though, almost as a tech deck in order to get Mobius and Professor X in the same deck. Sentry is a key part of the Sentry Annihilus package, and that is one of the most powerful packages in the game. I keep hearing people talking about how Loki is so good, Loki is so scary. Every time I look at card stats on Untapped, Sentry and Annihilus are higher on win rate and higher on cube rate. I think people are really overlooking this. I think this is a deck that is playing all of the best cards in the game that are not Loki, and that is a really good place to be, especially if you have the tech cards for a Loki matchup and for a combo meta. Professor X is a very specific choice here, and I think one of the ways to beat this deck is going to be doing something that is non-Prof X-y, like playing Lady Deathstrike, things of that nature. That's good into this, but it's less good into, say, Hela. My main concern when I came up with this and thought this is how I want to attack the metagame was I don't want to be in a situation where I am dead to Hela or dead to Phoenix Force. I want to be able to win those games. Now, I think it's possible that I overestimated how much I had to care about that. If you're not seeing any Hela, if you're not seeing any Phoenix Force, you can run different 5-drops in here. I think I lost some games on playing Prof X instead of other good 5s. That is entirely possible. And I think that you can, in fact, think about how you want to do this. You can either add a Daredevil to make it more reliable, or go a different route by playing something other than Professor X. There's a lot of different ways you can take this, and you can move the cards around to fit what you are seeing. But please do make sure you don't overreact. I do think that in a vacuum, or a general guess at what the meta looks like, this is probably the best build. This card is legitimately messed up. What it's doing, turning downside into upside, is not unprecedented in a card game, but I think in Marvel Snap it is so far and away stronger than anything else of this nature. When you compare this to something like Sauron's not turning the downside into upside. Sauron is getting rid of the downside. Zero is getting rid of the downside. This card is effectively doubling the power of the Hood and of Sentry, and not even just doubling, also clogging your opponent. It's unbelievably powerful. This is an extremely strong thing to be doing. Annihilus is, in my opinion, one of the strongest cards in the game, and the only thing even coming close to holding it back is those games where Loki gets your Annihilus and you just kind of get eaten alive. Cannonball in the right situation is basically a 5 infinity, and this deck is built to set up those right situations. You want to be playing a Professor X and having no priority, which Mysterio helps with, into a Cannonball plus maybe a Mockingbird, plus maybe a Demon, depending on how that plays out. Being able to instantly win one lane with a Cannonball is absolutely phenomenal. He is going to win you a ton of games if you have him. He is an incredibly powerful card, and he is being used to incredibly powerful effects in a deck like this. I know we're going to talk about replacements. I think there are replacements for Pixie. I think there are replacements for White Widow. I think there are replacements for Mockingbird, all that stuff, for sure. I am not sure there is a replacement for Cannonball. I think if you don't have Cannonball, you probably want to be playing no Prof X. You probably want to be playing no Cannonball, obviously, and you want to be playing like Lady Deathstrike and more one-drops, right? That's not as good as this. Straight up, you're going to lose out on the Hela matchup when you do it. You're going to lose out on some free wins off of this card, but if you don't have him, that is going to be what you have to do, and I do think that is a good deck as well. It's just kind of a little bit different. Mockingbird is replaceable here. Like, for the first half of the stream that I played this deck on, I was not playing Mockingbird. I was playing Iceman and Red Hulk instead, but, like, it doesn't have to be Red Hulk. It could just be, like, anything big. Iceman and Magneto, sure, go nuts, right? Like, that's totally fine if you want to replace Mysterio Mockingbird with those cards. That's a budget replacement I fully endorse. However, one of the things about Mockingbird is she helps sort of bridge these weird games. Like, you have these games where it's like you play a 1-drop, then you play another 1-drop, and then you're floating energy on 3 or 4 because you don't have a Sentry to be played there. And it's like, on those turn 3s, turn 4s, playing something like a Mockingbird after a Mysterio, just be like, oh, this is turn 3, here's 9 power. Oh, this is turn 4, here's 9 power. That's really damn good. It helps set up for Professor X. It's a strong card. I don't think this deck is unplayable without it, but it is, I think, an upgrade over the other versions. All right, y'all, thank you so much for sticking through this video. I think this deck started at a very basic space of I want to play Mobius and I want to play Professor X, and ended up at something that was just like, oh, this feels really good into kind of everything right now, and I really enjoy when a deck ends up in that situation. One thing I noticed is that as I sort of customized it, it ended up very similar to the deck constructed by Butt and Jimmy Dickens, and that is, like, you know, a very good thing to be, right? Like, we started at this Pixie starting point, and we ended up closer to something that is probably more reliable. That's good, but definitely shout out to them, because I think, you know, realistically, what you could do is just take that deck from last week's tier list and then throw a Mobius in it and be like one card off of this. So we sort of reverse engineered into something that I think was already good, but was probably not super popular outside of, you know, High Infinite. This is a thing that was like very like an inbred High Infinite thing. And right now it kind of just feels good into everything. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find the success that I had. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to jump into some gameplay now. I hope you enjoyed that as well. Please do stick around. I've been KM Best. You've been phenomenal, and I will see you in the next one. Was Prof left turn 5 the better play? Into a Daredevil? I don't believe so. Problem I'm having here is things still feel a little bit unsafe. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they get that guy, and that's not a good thing. Feeling a little unpleasant here. What is this, Loki? Jesus. Jesus. Okay, well, they've died. They've died. It's over with now. It's over with now, I think. What is happening? Dog, no way. No way. Right? Okay. Okay. Am I dead here? Like, what do they have that's big on the left? I feel like I might be dead here. I feel like I might actually just be dead here. So if they have anything reasonably large, he moves, then he plays you cannonball. What are you talking about? They win the middle. Cannonball left, then we lose the right. This is their free guy. You just need to win tiebreaker. What are you talking about? I don't know. Fuck it. Oh my god, we win. Woo! They needed 8, right? I guess technically they needed 9. Wish I knew what the fuck it was, though. Pixie! Everyone's favorite card! We'll play Mobius next turn, that's fine. It's really not fine, chat. I'll stick in for one. Sure. I'm with you. Just playing a normal game of Marvel Snap now, I guess. If he plays the Hawk and turns off my Dark Dimension, am I dead? Probably. Let's do it. Okay. Cool. That's not good for you. The old 1-2 step. Cool. Okay. Evening, XY Shin. Yeah, it's going alright, honestly. I mean, that would just give us really expensive rocks, right? But I guess if we're drawing the rocks anyway, we're, like, it's fine. Sure. Phenomenal. Pixie doesn't... Oh, it's a good point. That is fascinating. Ah, it's the Thors. I see. I see what's happening. I see what's happening here. I'm not super happy about it. Boy. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, there's no way, right? Right? I'd never beat this, yeah? God, just when I think I'm out, they pull me right back in. How does move and this work? If they move the vision over there, how does that work? IDK, why they snap otherwise? My worry is it's like a Shang. It's like a Shang in the middle. That is my worry. Let's try this. Oh my god, it works, right? It works, right? Get out of here! Oh! Oh! Cannonball, you beast! Oh, Cannonball, you beast! Mysterio was on the right. Don't you lose the tiebreaker? Is Mysterio on the right? Don't you lose the tiebreaker, Lanny? I didn't think that long on it. God damn it, I have so much respect for that. I was tanking it. I was like, oh, fuck. I just don't think they have anything real, because the Odin was the card from the raft, and so it was like, they probably don't have shit, right? And you didn't, but that's not like an endorsement of my strategy, you know what I mean? Like, you may not have had shit, but that's, oh, it feels bad. I have more bankroll? It's true. You do have more bankroll. I appreciate it. Oh my god, that's a free 9. That's a fucking free 9. Yo, Jaybird with the prime. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like a 3-9 is just good enough that I don't give a shit. That's a fucking free 9. That I can do whatever I want with. I'll put Vibraniums in my deck. I'll win the rest of this game with this hand and Vibraniums. I don't give a fuck. I will win the rest of this game with this hand and Vibraniums. I'm so serious. Prof mid. Shut up, man. Come on. Prof mid. I will happily prof mid there. See, here's the thing I'm worried about. Here's the thing I'm worried about. And it's why I'm not going to do this. I'm genuinely worried. I was right. I was right to be worried. I'm pretty sure I was right about being worried here, right? So we have this. Cannonball this. This. And even if the Marvel moves back here, it doesn't get us there. So they need, like, Shang-Chi plus card in the middle? And I don't think that does it. Prof mid would have won. I mean, it would have won. I can't argue. He can't Marvel mid? What do you mean? There's a Marvel right here. The Marvel can go mid. We're also kicking it out of here. It can go back here. We're pretty much just playing for points here, right? We're saying we have enough middle that I don't give a fuck that you turn off the Widow's Kiss. Marvel's not going to win the middle, and she's not going to win the middle, right? Her going to mid effectively, like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, it, like, puts them at, like, 13. But it ain't enough, and that's what the Vibranium did for us. And then puts her back in that lane, and we die. If the Rock was a Vibranium, they would have gotten my ass. Hello? If The Rock was a Vibranium, Roman Reigns would have retained. Whoa. Whoa. All right, Nico, draw 2. Come on. Wrong 2. Nice. I hate you. I mean, I guess we just have to start with shit here, right? That's just how this goes. I don't want to play a White Widow because they are very clearly also a deck that plays the card Annihilate. There's that Widow draw, too. Okay, so... Nico Minoru... This? I'm compelled by this. As I understand it, it'll kill the left one here. That's fucking annoying. There's our girl. Now, if we can take priority here, which I doubt it, we can Annie with the prio still up. Oh, we did take priority. Nice. It's not Eliath, it's like Negasonic Cosmo. What if you prof on Mockingbird lane? I don't think that gets me there, but it's possible. What we're trying to do is set up a situation where we can put something in the Stark Tower if they Negasonic on 5. But since we have priority, it's like the Negasonic's always blowing up whatever it is they want it to blow up is what it's getting blown up, right? Negasonic on 5. No, Negasonic would blow up whatever we're putting face down. Every time. Not on 5, sorry, on 6, right? They have like Negasonic Cosmo as their final option. So the question then becomes, like, are we willing to say, you know, they're going to Negasonic the Stark Tower, so we move the Jeff out, play Cannonball in there, and beat them that way, right? That's kind of where we're going. So we're at effectively 5-13. This goes out. They play something there. We tie that lane on a Negasonic. Now what I'm thinking is their face down is Eliath. What I'm thinking is their face down is Eliath. Let's find out. Can be not Eliath. Annihilus. Oh! What's in the middle then? Ronin? We beat that, I think. Yeah, we beat... Okay, we did. We actually very specifically planned for their face down to be Annihilus, right? Okay, cool. I guess that's the worst of all worlds. 25 seconds of waiting, and then we still have to play a game? Goddamn. Ain't that some shit. I guess of all the hits, that's probably the one that's, like, the easiest to deal with. Not super loving the hand, though. This is... A Mysterio would be a pretty good draw. It would get the Mockingbird cheaper, but more importantly, it would... Oh, we can Annihilus that. Oh, we can Annihilus that. Hey, it's the Mysterio we were talking about. But we can't put it there. For fuck's sake! This game sucks. I cannot believe I'm doing this. They will never expect the Annihilus now. You feel me? They will never expect us to Annihilus this shit. Now, they can Prof middle, which is super possible. Whoa. Oh, dude. No. Why are they snapping here? What is it that they are so confident in? They're on -6. We go to +3. There shouldn't be anything that's 11 in here. There shouldn't be anything that's 15 in here. Got him. Abs Man. We at least go to a tiebreaker with Abs Man, but yeah. I don't think I'm super into 2x here. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, well, we both have Jeffs. That is annoying, right? Jesus. We actually do have to move that because of Red Guardian, right? Wait a minute. Am I supposed to... No, that seems way too greedy. That seems way too greedy. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to live that life. Nice. Good bar. I was thinking about it. I was really thinking about it. So if I'm not mistaken, we cannot die, right? If I'm not mistaken, we cannot lose. Whoa, they snapped me? Holy shit, I'm horrified right now. I'm horrified right now. What? 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 That's a super scary snap. I've got Cannonball Demon next turn, though. Yeah, how am I dying here? Am I wrong? We could ball right if we wanted to. But like, okay, that kitty, how big was that kitty? 8, 9? So it'll be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15? 15 plus 9 is 24, so it's a tiebreaker? I guess if we can lose the left, we die. Uh-huh, that's dead. Uh-huh. Okay, they just had no idea what was happening then. Cool. I was right, by the way. We would have gotten a tie and then won the middle, but whatever. Yeah. Right? If we'd put the demon on the right. This seems pretty good. I was like, why the fuck are they snapping me? I assumed it had to be a way to win Kunlun. Subbies, things of that nature. You can accomplish it. Oh god, please give me Mobius. I need you, buddy. I need the Mob right now. Yo, Durza with the Prime. Thank you. Mobius, I need you more than I've ever needed anyone. Oh, fuck. Yikes. Yikes. Beta Ray Bill. Fuck. This is a scary situation. Not gonna lie, I'm just actually terrified here. But as long as that void goes over, we should win that. They shang the left, we win the middle, right? Yep, we're good. We're good.